So this is computer generated chess problem 00663 by Chesthetica. Now the first thing that you might have noticed in this position is that white has got more pieces, but black has actually got more material overall. Black is leading basically by about a minor piece or 3 Shannon pawn units. You also might have noticed that the black rook on d2 is in a position to be captured by the white knight on b3. So I will now show you the solution. You'll be surprised in this study-like construct. There's only one move that allows white to draw. Otherwise, white is basically lost. So let's take a look at some analysis. So the key move that wins is basically knight on the A file to c5. So let's take a look at what would happen if white played the obvious knight captures d2. Well, here black would recapture with the queen, threatening the bishop on h2. White might try to defend by moving, let's say, the bishop to b8. But then here black might play queen to d7 check. King tries to escape to g3, and then black wins the knight. So white is basically lost. So capturing the rook on the first move, while tempting, is not a good idea. It's additionally tempting because the knight on b3 is also in a position to be captured by the black queen. So knight on the A file to c5 not only defends the knight on b3, but it also attacks the queen. So black responds by moving the queen away, maybe all the way to d8. And now white should capture the rook, winning the exchange and bringing the material closer to even. So here white proceeds by advancing the A pawn, threatening to promote. Black might try to stop it, for example, moving the queen all the way to d8, but this can be countered with bishop. Other alternatives black might try, for example, maybe even queen to d4, but this allows the promotion immediately. But the promotion, strangely in this position, is not of much use because black can get away with a perpetual check. So we have got queen to g7, the king might move to h3, then we have got queen to h7, but the king tries to escape to g3, black could play queen to g6, white might try to defend with bishop to g4, then we have got bishop to e5 check, king tries to move to f3, queen f7 check, white tries to block with bishop to f5, queen to h5 check, again tries to block with bishop to g4, queen f7. Of course, if white were to play something like king to e3, then we have got queen to f2 check, king to d3, queen to d4 check, king to c2, and it just goes on and on and on. Queen to c3 check. White cannot play king to b1 because then queen to b2 would be mate. So king to d1, queen to e1 check, king escapes to c2, queen to c3. So white's promotion on a8 was actually not of much use. The pieces just so happen to be in the right places that black can force a perpetual check. So after queen to d8, knight captures d2, queen captures d2, pawn to a7. What if black played queen to a2? Well, then we have the same thing as before, bishop to b8. Notice how the pawn on e4 can also advance, opening up the diagonal for the bishop on f3 and facilitating the promotion of the pawn on a8. So black has to be careful about that as well. That's why here, for example, if black were to play queen to, let's say, a3, naturally white will play e5. And as I mentioned, this will defend the pawn on a8 after it promotes to a queen, and then black would be in trouble. But even here, black can still, for example, play bishop captures e5, and after white promotes to a queen, you have this exchange, and this is again a draw. So going back to the original position, it is quite interesting to see how this position might have been played out in a real game between two professional players. It's not very clear the solution would have been seen. And it's quite interesting that a computer composed this problem. Thanks for watching.